in my own little corner, in my own little chair. I can be whatever I want to be. In the arms of my love, I'm flying.
We're in the studio this morning with Audrey Cardwell, who is part of the cast of Cinderella. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, fantastic. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Happy to be here.
Here being Omaha, you're an Alabama native.
Yes, I sure am.
Whereabouts?
Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham.
Yep. And then I went to Penn State University, so transferred up to Pennsylvania.
Nittany?
And now I live in New York City. Nittany.
Yeah?
Yep. Mount Nittany, the Nittany Lions.
Cool.
All the good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what brought you to the land of Cinderella?
Well, to be honest, an audition.
Yeah?
Yep. And here we are. And it's been magical and amazing. And I've been touring with Cinderella for about a year and a half now.
Really?
Yep. We opened in October of 2014. And I've been with the company since we opened. And before we opened, we rehearsed for about a month and a half. And so it's been a huge, huge chunk of my life.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Your husband's in the cast?
He sure is.
Yeah?
He's the prince.
So he plays Topher.
He does.
And you occasionally play Cinderella
I do.
and some ensemble stuff.
Yep.
How odd is that?
It's all very odd. The first time we went on together was really surreal because he'd done the show. He was in the original cast of Cinderella on Broadway. And so he'd played the part of the prince about 40 times opposite the people in the Broadway cast. And so it really was like he was seeing the exact same silhouette with the dress and the wig and the tiara, but then my face was just there in the middle of it. So it was really, really, really bizarre for both of us. And I'd seen the show so many times when he was in the show on Broadway, and I had seen it from the audience perspective. So it was really, really interesting and fun. Now we're used to it. Now we just have a good time. But the first time we were having to stifle some laughter because it was just so strange to be starring opposite your person.
Did the audience know?
I don't think they knew.
They weren't in on it.
I mean, they there's no reason they would unless
Right.
they stalked us on Facebook, I guess, or something like that. So I don't know.
We could do that, I suppose.
I'm inspiring some trouble. Yeah, but no, I don't think they knew. And it's really fun after the show when we've been on together. We get to go out to the stage door and sign autographs sometimes if people have stayed or interested in that type of thing. And then we get to tell people that we're together and that now we're married. We got married in November. So it's really fun now that it's like a little tidbit, and people who do know, find it so adorable, and they're like, the chemistry's real, and we're like, well, yeah, it is. I would hope so.
Of course, if you're arguing, and but
Right,
not that happens. Yeah. All right. So it's obviously a magical musical, wondrous. We could go on with adjectives all day here.
Absolutely.
Iconic is another one. When people come in, it's not the movie.
It's not the movie.
This is Rodgers and Hammerstein's.
That's right.
It's a little different.
That's right. So a lot of people think that we're the Disney version, and we're not the Disney version. So that's the first difference from what people are expecting. And exactly like you said, it's the Rodgers and Hammerstein music.
You say Stein.
Hammerstein.
Okay. See, I've
Yes.
heard Steen and Stein.
Yeah,
so we'll
I
go with
believe the difference of Steen and Stein is in the spelling. It's if E-I, it's Stein, and if it's I-E, it's Steen.
Got it.
just learned that recently.
Aha.
I think that's how you tell.
So now I'm trying to spell Frankenstein in my head.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it's Franken, S-T-E-I-N.
Yeah.
I think. Anyway, tricks of the trade.
Yes.
Yes. So it's the Rodgers and Hammerstein music, the golden age of musical theater, and the music is astounding. Again, we could go on with the adjectives forever and ever. But the story, the book, has been updated, and it was written by Douglas Carter Bean for this 2013 Broadway production, and it's got new modern elements. It's got a modern sensibility, a modern sense of humor, and it makes the show enjoyable for all ages, not just kids. So I think a lot of people come in expecting, a lot of people bring their kids and think, oh, this is just fluff, they'll enjoy it, but it's gonna, it's not gonna entertain me. And people are always surprised, by how applicable it is to people of all ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to admit this. It was emotional.
Yes.
I was surprised again by looking, kids everywhere, and this was a lot. There were a lot of kids, of course, a lot of girls dressed up, and the whole thing. A lot of princes there as well.
Yeah.
And the slipper scene really hit me.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, I remember this as a kid.
Yeah.
It was magical to me as a kid.
Yes.
Whether or not girl, boy, doesn't matter.
No.
And it happened, and I found myself going, Wow, where'd that come from?
Yeah, it happens a lot. And to be quite frank, we hear that from a lot of men, from a lot of grown men. They come in not expecting to feel what they end up feeling and to be so moved by the production. But I think that's really why Cinderella has such staying power, is that it's the ultimate makeover story, not just physically and not just on the outer, edges of a human, but about who you are and about being kind and about making a difference. And no matter how old you are, no matter man, female, whatever, man, female, male, female,
same
whatever,
thing, Homo sapien sapien.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. It hits home in some capacity. And also, I think something that's so beautiful about it is that everybody in their life feels like they've had to overcome something, or they've had a battle that they've had, be it emotional or physical or what have you. And Cinderella is kind of the embodiment of that, of kind of taking your circumstances and making the best of your life, no matter what has been thrown at you. And I think it's inspiring. And that's why it's been such a staple in our culture.
Yeah. Oh, no question.
Yeah.
Let's find a little bit about you, other than being an Alabama native here.
Yes.
Your tale going from your first performance to where you're at today. What's your background?
My general, from childhood.
Well, you can start at
Cinderella.
embryo if you'd like, but professional background. Yeah.
So I started performing, doing dance lessons when I was 5.
Cool.
And so that was kind of where it all began. And then I began doing community theater, the good roots of community theater, when I was about 12.
Wow.
And I did actually my first professional show in Birmingham when I was 13, which was great. And that kind of opened the door to my realization that this is what I wanted to do.
You found a path.
I found my path, exactly.
Yeah.
And so then I just worked and did all the theater I could get my hands on when I was home in Birmingham. And I studied musical theater. I have a BFA in musical theater from Penn State University.
BFA.
A Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Oh, of course, yes.
So it's a little more honed in than a BA.
It's finer.
It's finer. Exactly. It's just a little more, it's more narrow of a focus of the BFA.
Cool.
It's in musical theater. So it's a very specific degree I have. And then I moved to New York City, and I've been fortunate to have some incredible jobs out of New York, and I've toured 3 times. This is my 3rd tour. And and
you're an old vet.
I'm an old vet of the road.
Elf, is that one I saw?
Yes,
no
I did
kidding.
do Elf. I did Elf.
Love that musical. Loved it.
We played Omaha.
Yeah.
In November. I actually spent my birthday here, November of 2013.
Yeah, great show.
It was so fun.
It was fun.
So fun.
Yep.
Buddy the Elf. You can't go wrong with Buddy the Elf.
No, not at all. One of the things we can talk about, yet we can't talk about, is the dress.
Yes.
Everybody wonders how it happens. Obviously in the movies, obviously when you see it on TV, anything like that, it can be done
with a computer
or a cartoon. It's drawn.
Right.
You guys are right out in front of everybody.
We are doing
and
it
the
live.
magic happens.
The magic happens. Yes. It's I still watch it backstage every night. I go to the side and watch
no kidding.
her transformation every night because I love it, and it never ceases to amaze me. And yes, like you said, it's happening right there in front of us.
The audience swelled.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It was.
One of my favorite moments is when she starts to transform and we can hear the audience gasping because I think it's just so surprising because you know that a transformation's coming, but you don't know how it's going to come. You don't know if she's going to leave the stage. You just don't know what to expect, but it starts to happen and it really happens just right there in front of you, and it's really, really astounding. And the costume design is by William Ivy Long, and he actually won the 2013 Tony Award for these costumes.
I would give him the 14 and the 15 awards.
Every year.
Yeah.
Every year's Tony Award should go to William Ivy Long. I think this was his 5th or 6th Tony, so he actually has a handful because he's such a genius.
Unbelievable.
So all the kudos goes to him and to the actresses doing, because obviously he designed it, but whoever's playing Cinderella, it's in your hands, so you got to make it happen. You got to make the magic happen. We joke that Cinderella is a magician.
I would agree with that.
The actress to play Cinderella, it's like Cinderella must be female magician.
Yeah. Are the shoes really glass? Okay, you can't tell me that either. That's fine.
I can say that they're not really glass, but
okay.
They are beautiful.
Oh, they are.
And they are sparkly and incredible. That's one of the things where it has to be comfortable for stage.
I would think so.
You just got to run around in them.
Well, and I was amazed at the full sprint, not sprint, but the full speed walking out of one of those slippers on stairs.
Oh, yeah. And that's another thing people think is, some sort of rigged situation. But I will say that when she steps out of the slipper, she is truly it's coming off of her foot. So, again, Cinderella's a magician.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. It was very enjoyable. We highly encourage anyone from 0 to 150 to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would too.
And from city to city, I'm sure you hear the same thing, that everybody has a good time.
Yes, they do. And it's an honor to be up there, and it's good to be a part of it.
Well, you're a princess. Awesome. Audrey, thanks for coming in. We appreciate the time.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Tickets are available at ticketomaha.com, or you can call the box office at 345-0606. Cinderella playing right through Sunday night here in Omaha at the Orpheum Theater.